Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody around the world. I want to say something today, and I want to say this with all the love in my heart. It's not what you need. It's not what you want. It's what you become. You know, my main focus on myself is not what I need. It's not about what I want. It's been for many years what I become. I take a look at each day and I might even look back even a few days and I review things without judgment. If you don't stop judging yourself, there's no hope for you. You will never heal. And if you do heal, it's only through massive personal action, and you will never stay there. I'm going to say something, and people, please don't take this wrong. But only 1 out of 1,000 people will ever have the life that they deserve down here. If you don't think different, you will never have a different life. And I don't know what it's going to take for the other 999 to get it into their head that it's because of what's in their head. If you don't react differently from the things that happen around you and within you, your personality will never change. Your reality will never change. You have to react differently. They have always used chaos since the beginning of time. This weekend, I really pulled back and I slowed down. And I really said to myself, you need to bring up your game, Daryl. I can remember a time when I was younger and I had no control of my anger. And now even inside my mind can be a landmine, and I have this evaluation that I'll only take so much and then I'll get angry. That's not the way it's going to be. You can come across and let people know that you're not doing this anymore. You're not taking this anymore. You're not drinking this anymore. You're not eating this anymore. You're not going to act like this anymore by just speaking more softly, but right from your heart. Even put your hand on your heart. But if you're not going to react differently than the way you're reacting right now in your life, then nothing's going to change for you. And know that. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It's not what you want. It's what you need to become. And the reality is you have all these belief systems and illusions that you can't do this or you can't change this. That's not true. That's not true. And understand something. Look at this. Does this look like chaos to you? Do you think this could ever be chaos? Do you know why I've picked the Zihuatanejo area to become my home? Because I want to live in a third world country that is built on paradise. And understand this, there will be an EMP thing happening where they are going to... I want to ask you a question right now. How will it feel if your phone doesn't work, your computer doesn't work, and you don't have hydro? Well, first of all, you won't have skip the dishes. First of all, you're not going to be able to call family members to get their support all the time or to call them up and freak out. First of all, I believe they're going to do this, and they might do this for, anywhere from 10 days to a month, depending on how long they need to do this. Am I trying to create chaos right now? No. What am I going to get out of this? I'm going to tell you right now. I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to live without anything that's got to do with electricity and gasoline for the next 24 hours, or pick a day. 24 hours. No phone, no computer, no hydro. Okay? All right? So that means you can't turn on the running water. That means you cannot use the toilet. That means that you cannot turn on the lights. I need you to do this, and I need to ask yourself if you're prepared for their chaos. You know, I always look at it this way. I get forced into doing things if I don't make a loving decision for myself. If I can make an unconditional, loving decision for myself, no conditions, I would be here anyway. I would figure out a way. It's not what I need that makes me happy. It's not what I want that makes me happy. It's what I become that makes me happy. So understand something. If you don't want to react differently to yourself, everyone else in the world, then nothing's going to change. And I want you to understand this. 99% of the population is not prepared what is going to happen in the next following few months and onward until about 2030, 2032. You know, everybody's worried about the New World Order. Well, I want to tell you something. I'm not, because there's a new order going on. And whether you believe this or not, for those people, which is the majority that are stuck, that believe that they need things and not wanting to become things or change things, are going to suffer greatly. You know how they tell you that the world is dying? I call crap. Well, that is the biggest crap I've ever heard in my life. Are you like out of your skull? The world, at the end of all of this, will burp and fart like it's always done. It's never went anywhere. Even, you know, we're on the 6th human extinction, not planetary extinction. And understand, if the animals are becoming extinct and the fish, then that means we are too. And the reality is you've never strategized. You've never even strategized how to have a perfect day on a health and happy level. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the 99.9%, and I'm right about that. They've never strategized on how to wake up in the morning on the right side of the bed, connect to their breath, have a slight smile, you know, do about 10, 15 minutes of gratitude work. You know, the first hour of power, and then the last of the day you do the same thing. And then all the way through, if you were to stay conscious and you knew what a perfect day looked like and you were to actually write it down and you were to practice that, in 33 days you'd be doing a perfect day, and you wouldn't have to be conscious anymore of making proper decisions that love you on an unconditional level, and there's no more conditions. When you have all these conditions for yourself, you have them for everyone else. You know, it's the craziest thing. I couldn't make it cheaper if I tried. Take it as a sales pitch if you want, doesn't matter. But you know, I created a manual, and it's on pre-sale right now, called The Perfect Day Lifestyle. It's almost a 500-page guide. It is a beautiful piece of master work. It is designed beautifully. But the information in it is more powerful than I believe any book out there. And I mean it. I've got 44 years into this. When a person gets a consultation from us for $150, they get this PDF. When they get a consultation from us for $225, they pay the cost of this manual, which is the best written health manual, massive take action manual to create a strategy for yourself. And if today I only want to take on a little bit and a little bit more tomorrow, 1% every day, within 100 days or more, you'll have a new you. You're so psycho. You're so in chaos that you can't connect to your breath, that you can't settle down, that you can't look at it. You know, for anything I charge you, it's worth 100 times the value. You know, at this time in my life, if I don't have integrity, I have nothing. And understand something, my integrity is always up for discussion with the 99% of the population, because it's different than their beliefs. And that's okay. I love them anyway. But I will tell you this right now, strategy is everything. And guess what? 99% of you on here say you have a healthy diet, and I can prove you don't. I can prove that you have a healthier diet than maybe some of your family members or other people, but you don't have a healthy diet to where you need it to be. If you saw the way that I lived, and how much joy is in my life. You know, I'm healthy and I'm happy, and whatever happens today, the chaos they bring, and if they do an EMP knockout, which means they'll knock out everything. Remember, they're not going to drop any atomic bombs. When they can do that, that'll be the atomic bomb. Because so many people, take a look at it. You got to walk down the street with your phone in your hand. Everybody at the dinner table has to have a phone out. Everybody going out to eat have to have a phone out. As soon as the conversation stops in the family, the phone is out, or the computer's out, or the TV's out. Oh my God, what a meltdown. And the teenagers, oh my God, they are going to freak right out. They're going to freak right out. And this is going to happen. Why do you think they've got everybody so addicted to it? You know, everybody has to go and get their dopamine and serotonin rush off their phone. And that's why everybody's sick. Because you're not doing a self-loving, self-caring job. You're using something to trigger it inside of you. You're not using you to be the trigger. I love myself so much. What a rush. No, I love when people like me. I love when I read things about the beautiful things I want in my life. Well, you need to become the beautiful thing. If I were to go through the person that says, here, I've got a great diet, and go through your cupboard and fridge, we would be appalled. If you've never heard about the Yuka app, it's YUKA. Download it and start scanning everything you buy. And believe it or not, if you can scan it, all right, it's poisonous. Only 1 out of 10,000 products made are not poisonous that you can scan. 90% of all the food that's on the store shelves was never here 90 years ago. And 90% of all the diseases we have were never here 90 years ago. There's a correlation here. And understand something. I'm telling you right now, I challenge you to take a perfect day consult that'll cost you $150, and you get my PDF. And that PDF guide, that's worth, I'd say, well, I can't put a price on it, but I believe it's worth $1,000. People write books, but they don't write massive take action manuals where that manual, if you actually read this almost 500-page manual, that you know everything that a practitioner would know for a practitioner that is a New World practitioner and stepping into their power. How would you like to know how to do everything in every orifice in the body? How would you like to know everything about every emotional issue in your tissue? It's in the book. And guess what? Don't tell me I don't have integrity. I know who I am. I want to be a flagship for the world. You go get the consultation, all right? Even if you pay $225, you get the hardcover book. Go try to print that book. It'll cost you what? $175 to $200 if you print one. I'm giving you the consultation, which has lifetime support, an 800 number that you can call as often as you want, and you can call me too. You don't have to just call your practitioner. And you're going to get this manual that you'll want to put on your coffee table. It is so gorgeous. And it has so many tips in it and strategies that are life-changing. And then at the end of all of it, if you need to, you can ask for your money back and then keep the manual. I know a lot of you won't do it, but some of you will, and I don't really care. I'm telling you right now, I know that happens. It happens already. And then my staff go, oh my God, what are we going to do, Daryl? And I go, well, that person probably needed to pay their rent or food, or maybe they just needed to feed their addiction. The reality is I give a money back guarantee, and I'm going to do it because I am abundant no matter what happens to us here. I am going to be the flagship. You know, my country government has attacked me 5 times trying to destroy me emotionally, physically, and financially. You think they're getting tired yet? Well, I'm just getting started. Because understand, I believe in the source of everything. And I believe, and I don't do this to be the good guy. I don't want people to tell me they love me. I want people to tell me that they love themselves. I don't want people to tell me that I changed their life, because I didn't. I brought information and strategies. You got to change your own life. And if you actually have a better life today, it's not because of me. It's because you are the 1 in 10,000. And understand something. The planet is not dying. That is a crock of crap. Okay? All right? We are. We are. Human beings are dying. Okay? So that everything is a distraction. You need to understand that. People don't understand their bodies at all. And I'm going to tell you something. Most natural health practitioners do not understand what true health is. You heard what I said? Oh, so now Dr. Wolf is an arrogant prick. Oh, okay. All right. Why don't you get my manual and then tell me I am? And then if I'm not, then don't request your money back. And if I am giving you more information, valuable information on how you can become the practitioner, the hero, the doctor for your family, you would never want it. Because people are beautiful. Their beliefs are not. Their beliefs are toxic because they're not their beliefs. We've been programmed to actually destroy ourselves and each other, and that's the way it is. Understand something. We are under the greatest physical and psychological abuse on this go-around on this planet. And they are not going to let up until 2030, 2032. Remember I said that. And then just put that down, and then you can talk to me later about this. And understand this. I'm enjoying this. This is the adventure of my lifetime. I say to myself, where can I live and how can I live that these psychos and government have no part of my life? What can I do? And most people will live in so much fear, they'll actually stay in a large city where, you know, that's just rats in a cage. And that's what they've always wanted. Their stuff is never going to work, whether you guys want to believe this or not. The automotive industry has just told all the governments of the world that they will not back electric cars anymore. Did you know that? It's over. There are hundreds of thousands of electric cars sitting in China. And if you don't believe me, in fields. That was never supposed to work. They just tried it. You have to understand, these psychos, money doesn't mean anything to them, but it does to you. Most of you have such poverty consciousness, and it's not your fault, and I'm not putting you down. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I had poverty consciousness until I was around the age of about almost 40. You know, no matter how much I made that day, I would pretend I didn't make it because I couldn't make enough. And now I just want to make it so I can share it, so I can deliver it, so I can serve it. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, there's a good sales pitch. Well, you'll find out if it's a good sales pitch. I'm coming out with an app that I've put all my money into. I still owe $70,000 on it. But that app will be a gift. It'll be a gift to the planet, to those people who want it, to human beings. Just as this manual, I'll never get my money back for it. I've done thousands and thousands of hours with my people. Thousands and thousands. You know, there's not a practitioner out there that's a natural health practitioner that could go into this book and not want to take 80 to 90% of it for themselves. And I hope they do. God, it's only going to cost them $225. They'll get a hardcover, and if they want that, they can pay $150 and then just take the PDF and all my work, and then they can take everything out of there and they can put their name on it for all I care, because guess what? I own nothing. I copyright nothing, and everything that I am is because of the people that came before me. And there's nothing better than serving. And I will tell you something. Your conductor's all messed up. Your conductor's on drugs. And your conductor is your brain. And if you don't believe me that your belief systems rule, school, and fool you, that's the way it is. And most of you will make some changes to bring down your pain and suffering. But see, with me, I got to tell you, I don't buy into that. My father was a born-again Christian pastor, and it was all about the suffering almost my whole life. And it's not about the suffering anymore. And I know that I don't have to suffer for that which created the universe, and I don't have to suffer for you either. And suffering for you is only going to feed the suffering program. And suffering just shows me that that which created me, I am disapproving of it. No, I was created to create. I was created to excel. I was created to rise. I was created to actually feed my spirit. I was created not to want, but to become. Become that. And you need to become that. And understand, your family is not going to follow you. And if you have one person in the family that does follow you, then you're hitting a home run. I did say that only 1 out of 1,000 people know what true health is and understand something. And I did tell you too that natural health practitioners don't know what natural health is, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Unless you are emotionally healthy, okay, because guess what? Here's the deal. Let's take the biggest chaos that happens in your life once a week. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember the biggest trauma that happens to you once a week. I want you to give yourself a scale of 1 to 10, how you actually dealt with it. And guess what? With most of the chaos that happens, you're not supposed to deal with it at all. You're supposed to mind your own business. But seeing that you don't know how to create a natural dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin rush, which is called the dose, which I deliver every day to myself, and continual. You can talk to my dearest family members or to my practitioners or to my patients, and they will tell you that I suffer from them not 1%. But guess what I will do? I will hold the line. Because if I suffer 1% to them, that 1% is enough to ignite the suffering within them. And if you don't get that, then you are part of the problem. And the reality is this, is that the planet is never going to change. Why should it change? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture? There's nothing wrong with this picture. But right now, there are people in their homes right now that are in so much pain they want to die. So much pain they're taking drugs. So much pain that they're lashing out at their loved ones. They're in so much pain and they have no energy, because the more pain you have, the less energy you have. And they're laying in bed and they know they're already dead. And the reality is even if you're laying in bed, you're not dead. You have to change the way you feel, and you can't take supplements. You've got to take nutraceuticals. Everything is about frequency, and everything is about vibration, and everything is about energy. And you can have somebody that can't get out of bed because of energy. And if you know what you're doing, which I do, thank you. I know how to put energy into someone and get them out of bed. And the reality is that you have to become the conductor. Okay, where you are the conductor of all the organs, all the cells, and all the bacteria in your body. But the conductor has to come from your subconscious. But that means you have to be conscious enough to want to create new belief systems that are very powerful. I am not trying to create Henny Penny, the sky's falling in, because you have to understand something, whether you like it or not. The new digital system is coming, and it's not the mark of the beast. There are things that are mark of the beast. If you take the chip, I get it, and you get chipped. But the reality is digital's coming. But understand, I'm not welcoming digital, I just know it's coming. And the reality is that's the way it is, guys. So stop complaining and explaining about it. But guess what? I live in a country where everybody revolves around cash. It's called Mexico. I live in a country that revolves around, it's warm all the time. I don't need a furnace. I revolve in a country where the produce is still 25 to 30% and it's organic and there's no chemtrails. I live in a country where the government leaves me alone, but you live in your mind that you think there's some kind of mafia attacking everybody down here and the governments are after us or something, or people are getting murdered. So see, the reality is that we don't live in reality. We live in a reality that was actually built for us. So, I live in Puerto Rico, I live in Florida, and I live here, but I'll be living here most of the time because I can get fresh water. I can go and get fresh fish. I could walk and get fresh fish caught this morning in 7 minutes. I can walk to the vegetable place in 12 minutes. And the thing is guess what? Most of these people are growing vegetables in their backyard up in the hills. So it's not going anywhere, guys. It's not going anywhere. Take a look at it. If they knock out all systems and they do that for 10 days to a month, because they don't need to drop the bomb. Well, they're dropping the bomb every day if you watch the news. But the reality is, but they don't need to drop the bomb. All they got to do is just shut you off from your addictions. So I'm not telling you, it's like this. YK2 never happened, did it? A lot of them never happened. So guess what most people are saying? It'll never happen. YK2 never. Well, guess what? Yeah, but we weren't in a position where they wanted to take my country, the USA, down, okay, and actually destroy the US dollar and bring in digital currency. So that's never ever happened before. And to do that means that we have to crush the American dream, and that's what they're doing right now. They are disrupting on all levels and all fronts, okay? But the things you really need to understand is what drives people. Understand? And then what you really need to understand is, where can I have a beautiful life? How can I create a beautiful environment? How can I be happy and healthy? And how much more money do you need? I mean, those of you who are grumbling all the time about where you're living and you've got your house paid off, my God, I don't know. I sold mine, and I'm down here, and I don't own anything yet, but I don't have to, right? I don't feel like I got to own anything here. I've got a big storage container down here, and I'll make the move when I need to make the move. But nobody's pushing me to do anything. And guess what? Everybody there, you're feeling tight. You're feeling, oh my God, what's going to happen? Just what? If you were to take 1% action every day into your passion, your purpose, your dreams, in 100 days, you are where you are healthy and happy. And understand, you can use all the excuses as you want. But understand this, it's not every woman and man for themselves. It's, when are you going to create a strategy from the moment you rise until you close your eyes and live where you can live, where you can be happy and you can be healthy. Why did I pick Zihuatanejo, Mexico? I'm going to tell you why. Somebody's asking. Okay, I'll tell you why. There's only 35,000 people here. It's quiet. There's hardly any building going on, okay, of any sort, okay? The people are so beautiful. I've been down here now for just over 2 years, in and out, because I still do my courses and my trainings around the world. If you go to braveheartnation.com, you'll see that. But the reality is here, I've had like 2,000 people come down to get treatments, training, okay? Or just they moved here to buy a house, or they're living here and they're paying anywhere from $250 to actually $2,500 a month, depending on where you want to live and what you want to do. I've got so many people that live with the Spanish people in these back, okay, like way back over there in the mountains. I don't know if you can see it. I'll switch this around. If you can see way back over there, okay? And also, there's all these little towns, and there's so many of the gringos that have come down to see me that now they understand that they can live with these people. And understand something, when the crap hits the fan, all of these selfish, spoiled people are going to have tantrums. Think about the people that you know that are so materialistic, okay? And they have to have it their way. I mean, if there's not a little bit of enough hot water, or if they don't get what they want, think of the people in your family. Think of the friends that have tantrums, okay? Tantrums over that. Now, you want to be with those people? Let me tell you something. You better know your neighbor right now. You better know your neighbor right now. Oh my God, I wouldn't live in a third world country. Yeah, this is third world. This is first world, baby. And let me tell you something right now. These people here, they've always had to do with less. And when this chaos comes, they'll be still living the same way they are now. And as far as in any place that you want to call civilized, it will not be civilized. Let me tell you that. So if you can't get out of your country, you get out of that big city. And you better make sure you know your neighbors, or you go someplace, because I'll tell you something. Let me just say this. Think about your family and your friends that love you so much. When the going got tough last time, did they turn on you? Bam, baby. And I'm not telling you all of them. I'm just telling you that people have not gone in and programmed themselves for chaos. Real chaos. Okay? Most people, they live in chaos. And guess what? There's nothing even going on yet. Nothing. Not what's going to go on. And guess what? It's not your fault. But guess what? To bring in this new order, okay, the New World Order is not going to win. They're going to get some of the things they want. But guess what? They get the low-hanging fruit anyways. The low-hanging fruit are those people, okay, that have autoimmune diseases, those people that do not know how to stay calm in a make-believe chaos. And even if it was real, only one chaos out of 1,000 is even real, okay? And most of you create chaos in your life. You know, oh my God, there's a war around the world and you can't stop talking about it. I mean, you're adrenaline junkies. That's what you are. And you don't even know it. And I'm not putting you down. I was there. You know, I had to do a lot of work to get out of that. And that was really a lot of loving me and just going this, using the love band. 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, that's the old me. 3, 2, 1, I love and care for myself. 3, 2, 1. I will not talk that way about myself. I will not talk that way about my family. I will not talk that way about my world. 3, 2, 1. I am only going to focus on what I want from now on. And it's not called selfishness. It's called creating the life for yourself and then creating courage for your family and friends and going, wow, he did it. She did it. I can do it. And that's what that's all about. You know what? You're going to get the chance to say that I'm full of it. You know that. And most of you probably think I am full of it, but I love my life. And I know that I'm only a small part of the minority. And understand something. If you actually believe anything that the majority believes in right now, I'm not going to pray for you, but I hope you wake up. I hope you wake up. I will send you all the love in the world, okay? I'll send you all the love in the world that you wake up. Because if you ever follow the majority, you are already on your way out. You're going. And you know what? I need you to think about this, okay? If I really wanted your money and I just wanted to sell you stuff, then I would kiss your bum, okay? I don't want to kiss your bum. I want to stir things up inside of you and say, you are beautiful. You are an unlimited potential. You are a spirit being. And guess what? You can't even love yourself for one day. You can't let yourself off the hook for what everybody made decisions why you are unworthy. You can't even move forward into your future because you screwed up the present moment by trying to go into the future. You know what? I love uncertainty. But the reality is I'm very certain of a few things, and that is the digital's coming, and that is that they are going to make it very difficult. By spring, by spring, you watch the difficulty. But you know how difficult it's going to be here? Yeah, it's going to be this difficult. Okay? So you want to go to somewhere where they have lots of money, where they can strategize against you, where they have high taxes. The higher the taxes, the more money they have to blow. And understand something. You don't see Mexico giving billions of dollars to other countries. Well, they don't have it. You don't see Mexico allowing GMOs and chemtrails in here. They're not interested in it. They said no. And guess what? Oh, yeah, these simple, basic people, they're not simple and basic. They're enlightened, okay? Maybe they don't have the beautiful house you have. Maybe they don't have that, but they've got the beach anytime they want. They can catch a fish. They've got each other that they totally love, and they work together. They're not so materialistic. But don't worry, United States, we're creeping in here trying to make them that way, because guess what? The nature of the human being, okay, is what you can become, not what you want or what you can have. Hardest person to deal with is a person that collects possessions. Isn't it? Isn't it? A possession collector, a hoarder, a person that actually amplifies themselves because they say, I own this and I own this and I own this. But do you own yourself? Do you own peace? Do you own heavenly prosperity within inside yourself? Do you actually take the time to pray, to meditate, to actually take the time 15 minutes twice a day to be grateful for whatever you have? And also be grateful for whatever else you want, because put it out to the universe that you are grateful and you will be plateful. And I'm telling you, you will be. I am so grateful. There are things that aren't working for me right now. There are big obstacles in my life. Right now, I'm kind of hanging here. But guess what? Every day I got up. I did my gratefulness. Okay. I did my meditation. Okay. I did my half mile swim. Not today because I did it 3 days in a row and I'm kind of feeling it. So, but I may go tonight. But understand something right now, and I'm going to give it to you. You're only as emotionally stable when there's chaos. When there's chaos, are you connected to the lion heart breathing? Do you have a slight smile on your face? Are your shoulders back? Not every storm is going to last forever, but this will be the longest storm that has ever happened, okay, since World War I and II. And it won't be like World War I and II. I already told you. Right now, it's called physical and psychological abuse. Look at how many people opt into actually going to doctors. I am a natural health doctor, which most of you think that that's not a doctor. But the reality is, we'll go to a doctor that sells drugs and will cut pieces out of them that could actually be turned around. Everything in the body is reversible when this, okay, is working for you. But for 99% of the population, it's working for the systems out there. That's why these guys can just kick back. They can kick back and they're going to put you on your back. So I'm going to say this one thing to you today. Sit down and make a contract for yourself. It's called Contract for Heroes. And I want you to write a contract on how you should treat yourself and what your passion and purpose is and what you've always wanted to do, but you've put off for the family. You've put off for this and this and that. I can't even tell you how many things. I want you to write down that Contract for Heroes, and I want you to look at it every morning and every night for the next 33 days. And then guess what? And when you do that, connect to your lion heart breathing, put your hand on your heart and come from your heart. And that is your destiny. That's your destiny. And understand something. We all have a destiny. We all have a purpose. And understand when you find it, you will gift yourself and the world with it. And then guess what? This world will be a better place. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for having the courage to do that. Have a beautiful day.